Cool. Okay, so to start off with, can you tell us the name of your business, who you are, and what you do?
My name is Mark Vargas. I am the owner of Silverback Plumbing and Drain here in San Antonio. And our company is plumbing service company, meaning that we don't do any kind of new construction. So there's nothing from the ground up. It's all pre-existing that we need to, correct. So if you have water leaking pipes,
Mhm.
drips in the walls, or drippy faucets, or clogged toilets, that's something that we can be called on so that we can fix for you. We also specialize in water purification, so water softeners, RO systems, UV light systems. We install all that stuff.
Oh, what's the UV light system? I don't think I've heard of that at all.
UV light systems on water purification units are they kill any bacteria that could be in the water. So if the city ever puts out a boil ban or a boil notice, I should say, any water that's going through there, if there's bacteria, the UV light will penetrate, go through the water and kill it, so that you don't have to worry about drinking any kind of bacteria.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I moved here, I personally didn't know how hard the water is
Mm.
until like all my faucets had this like calcium like buildup, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God. I bought some CLR from the market, and I was like, this is not coming off. And so that was, I
Yes.
mean,
So
yeah.
so yeah. So San Antonio. I mean, unfortunately, where'd you come from?
So I came from Cali. I'm originally
Okay.
from California. I don't
Okay.
think we have that problem.
Yeah, y'all don't have that problem out there. So unfortunately, you moved to the part of the United States where the water is the hardest. Yeah. So
Sure.
the statistics are, and the fun facts are, is that if you have 1 to 4 grains of hardness in your water, that is considered hard water. 4 to 8 grains is considered extremely hard water. Well, San Antonio surrounding areas and pretty much the whole Texas southern region averages anywhere between 20 to 27 grains of hardness. So,
Whoa! Like way above.
so and there's some spots that are even harder. It all depends on where you're located. But for here in San Antonio, we have to consider the source of our water. Okay, it's the Edwards Aquifer. It's naturally filtered through the limestone that it goes through. So chunks of the limestone are just falling off as the water drips through, and water is very corrosive. So as long
Oh,
as it's flowing, it's molding and shaping whatever it's hitting or running on. It starts to just eat away at it. So that's where the lime deposits come into the house. Now the city doesn't have a any kind of purification system to extract that. Of course, if they did, we wouldn't have it in our homes. So it's up to the homeowner, because having a soft water has been considered a luxury. So if
yeah.
you want soft water, you have to hire licensed professionals to come in and modify your plumbing system so that we can provide you the soft water that you want.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's definitely a huge difference. I think I used to lose my hair too. Like, what are some other like things or effects someone can see if they don't have soft water in their home that
Well,
you see?
other than the normal, scaly buildup and stuff on the faucets and everything, um, other things that you can start to see, because hard water just doesn't affect the faucets where water comes out of. It also affects your drainage system. Okay.
Um,
um the fact that we have hard water, it doesn't allow soaps to be broken down properly. Okay, so that's why you look like you have long hair. I bet you use a lot of conditioner. See, so
mhm,
okay, well,
mhm.
that's because the hard water doesn't break down that conditioner properly.
Um,
So you're having to use a lot so that you can get the effect that you're looking for. Well, those clumps of soap or conditioner, well, they also go down the drain, and it gets piled up inside the inner diameter of the pipe. So
Yikes.
when you get a clog, what happens is you call a plumber, he comes out, he runs his little cable and stuff, and then it comes back and it's all white, and most people would think that that's grease. Well, that's not the case anymore. People have been educated about what grease does, and are no longer putting grease in the drains. So that's great. However, they haven't been educated about hard water, and that's why we have soap curd. Soap curd is what builds inside the drains, and that will build up just like grease. So when
Oh,
we go in there and auger it out and our cable comes out all white, yeah, even the plumbers sometimes get confused and say, "Oh, it's grease." No, it's soap curd. So we have to
mm,
wash it out. Now with proper softener, the soaps will get diluted the way they're supposed to, which is why when you have a softener, you don't use as much soap or conditioner.
gotcha.
Whatever you're used to using as far as hair conditioner when you shower, I can tell you right now, all you would need if you have a softener, all you would need right now is about a nickel-sized blob, and that would take care of all your hair.
Wow, I
Yeah,
love
big
that.
difference. Big, huge
Amazing.
difference. It takes actually showing you or you having to try it before you can start believing it. My
Right.
wife is a classic case. Well, she's at the point now where she doesn't even use conditioner. But when we first started with softener in our home, she always told me, "You're baloney." It's like there's no way I'm never gonna use conditioner. And I told her, "You gotta try it. You gotta try it." And well, she didn't listen. And one day she took a shower and she used the same amount that she always does, which is usually about a palmful because she has hair about the same length as yours.
Yeah, very well.
And she came out, and when she dried off, she couldn't understand why her hair felt like straw. I mean, it was just so stiff. It was like she was like, "What is going?" She couldn't run her brush through it. Nothing. I told her, "Get back in the shower. You got to wash your hair out." She was like, "I washed it all out." I was like, "No, you didn't. Get back in." And then she got back in, and I told her again. I was like, "Stop using so much soap.
Yeah,
That's what's creating all that." And now she's gotten to the point where she doesn't even use conditioner. See,
that's
so
amazing. Love
so
that.
I mean, and that's what I try to educate people on. I need to make sure that one, you as a client are aware of what you're buying, okay?
Yeah, yep.
And two, I need to make sure you understand how it works. And then three, just have faith in me. I mean, I know that would be hard, but have faith in me in telling you that the product that I'm telling you to get is going to be the best for you. Uh,
Yep.
Soft water has just gone. It does so many things. I mean, other than fixing your plumbing and making your appliances last a whole lot longer, there's so much more. There's even medical benefits of it. Doctors are over here prescribing water softeners, and for people with skin disorders such as eczema, psoriasis, and stuff like that.
Mhm,
You
mhm.
know, um, they have found that soft water will alleviate the outbreaks that people get from those skin disorders because they don't have the lime scale buildup that's over here irritating it and causing the outbreak
Mm,
anymore. Not to mention that, if you go further than just softening your water and you go further by adding a carbon filter, we're now extracting the chemicals that the city puts in there, the chlorine, the fluoride here in
yep.
San Antonio. We're extracting those chemicals, and now those chemicals are not affecting the skin anymore.
Mhm.
See,
It's
so
amazing.
um each case is different. People ask a lot of questions, which I love. Yeah, I love answering these questions again because part of my job is to make sure that people are educated.
Right.
I don't want any of my clients having any kind of buyer's remorse at the end. We truly strive and have committed ourselves, and I have made a promise when I opened up the company that I was going to make my clients happy, and I was going to permanently fix their issues, not
Right.
just put band-aids on it on everything. So that's not what we do. So when it comes to professionalism, I'm really hard on my guys. I make sure that they follow the protocol that I have set for the company so that
Mhm.
we can continue to service San Antonio. If I went out there and I just started, you know, throwing pipe everywhere and whatever, 1 year warranty, 90-day warranty, kind of thing, and not really caring,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be in business right now. You know,
Right.
you know,
100%.
yeah. And that was something that that I saw when I was just a technician working for a couple of these big box companies here in San Antonio.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I got tired of the way that one, I got tired of the way that they were treating the client. And
Mm,
two, after the client, it was the technician that got treated like dirt, and I said, no, no more. We can't do this. I'm
yeah.
not going to do this. Not anymore. I got enough experience and I got my time invested in the trade already to be able to prove to Texas that hey, I can be a master. And those are the steps that I took. So it
Gotcha.
was, so
Was
it
that
was,
the main reason why you started Silverback Plumbing and Drain?
it is,
Okay. Gotcha.
yeah, it's exactly the reason why I started Silverback Plumbing and Drain. I was just so fed up, like I said, because I was just a number. That's all
Yeah.
it was. I was just a number in the company. They
Mhm.
didn't care. They didn't care about me. They couldn't tell you what one of my children's names was.
Right.
Even after working for them for a few years, um, they wouldn't be able to even point out, one hobby that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
That's sad. That's poor leadership, and that tells you they were just money driven. That's all.
Yeah.
As long as I was making them 1.3 million a year, then, hey, everything's good. He's a good guy. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
But the straw that broke the camel's back was when I went to work one day and the manager comes in on a tech meeting,
Mhm.
and while he's walking up to the podium, he's telling everybody, here's a fun fact. The average household has $800 in their savings account. You better get it all.
Crazy. Crazy.
Wow. Okay. I've never been the guy to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
I'm not that kind of guy. People have labeled me hot headed, whatever you want to call it. I'm just the guy that's vocal.
Mhm.
I end it right there if it's bad, and if it's good, then I continue. But this was one of those bad times, and being the vocal person that I am, I stood up and I started yelling and cussing. And I'm not going to say exactly what I said, but you know, so he said that. I stood up and I said, "Oh, so to hell with service, right?" Well,
Yeah.
that's not what I meant. I said, "That's exactly what you said. That's
Dang.
exactly what you said. Go in there, cut their jugular, run to the bank laughing. That's exactly what you want everybody here to." I said, "I'm done.
Oh,
I am
man.
so done." The funny part about it is that everywhere I've worked, I was always top of sales.
Yep.
Always. I was always the one plumber that was busy, because there's downtimes in the trade. Throughout the year, there's little downtimes,
Mhm.
and I was always the guy that was busy, and I was always the guy that made the most at no matter what company I was at.
Mm.
They could not figure it out. They would always tell me, "You need to train our guys," and I said no. I would tell them, "No, I'm not training anybody. Y'all are not capable of understanding what I do and actually using what I do for the better, for good.
Yep.
Someone somehow will grab this, twist it up, and just use it for bad, because it
Yes.
can be used for bad,
Yeah.
so
Sure.
I wouldn't train anybody, and they would get upset, but they wouldn't really say anything, and I just
Mhm.
kept on doing what I do and did. But it was simple. It's exactly what I do right now. Just honest. Again, because of the type of personality that I have, I'm just brutally honest, really.
Blunt.
Uh, um, and then just upfront, I'm not. I have no reason to hide anything. The fact that you have plumbing issues are not my fault. Okay, I'm not the bad guy. I'm the
Mhm.
guy here to help you if you want me to. So I can understand people being frustrated or angry at the situation that's at hand, but that is not my fault. So I don't mind being a chew toy for a little bit,
Mhm.
as long as I can make them understand, hey, it's not their fault either. They're just living in a house. The
Yeah.
plumbing in that house is, or in any structure, is the most neglected trade of any trade.
But the
Okay,
most used too.
but yeah, exactly.
It's
Um,
crazy.
and if you think about it, you don't see any of the plumbing. You don't. It's all in the walls. It's in the slab and stuff. As long as water comes out of the faucet, everything's fine. As long as it's hot or cold, it's fine. And as long as you flush your toilets and it all goes down, it's fine. But the moment boop boop it backs up, that's it. It's done. Now you got to hire a professional. You can't see when something's about to happen, like an electrical socket or light switch. You
Right.
flip it and sparks it like, whoa, okay, what's going on there? And then you do it again, and to see if it
Right.
happens again. Okay, you know what? I better call an electrician before this gets worse. There you go. You can't do that with plumbing.
Okay.
But going back to the why we opened up this business, that's exactly what it was.
Gotcha.
So it was just mind-boggling, and I tried every kind of company to work at, um, everything from the
Gotcha.
little mom and pop shop,
Mhm.
all the way to the corporate type,
Yeah.
and it seemed
Yeah.
like each and every single one was just the same.
Okay.
The service side of the industry has been extracted.
Wow.
There aren't any companies except for us that actually have provide a service. um it just doesn't happen like that anymore,
Mm.
and that's what I'm going to bring back.
Love that.
So the
Love it.
mission of our company is to restore the service side of this industry.
Mhm.
um Again, making sure that our clients are educated on what they're buying,
Yep.
are educated on what they bought, as far as how it works and everything, and why it they we are prescribing what we're prescribing.
Yep.
They need to understand every single step. They need to be shown every single step. Again, I have nothing to hide. You got sewer issues, I'm going to show you where those sewer issues are at. We write down in detail reports. We photo document everything. I mean, it's all there.
Mm.
We don't hide anything,
Gotcha.
and
So
nobody does that anymore.
yeah, so that's a big change working from corporate, right, to working to yourself. What are some obstacles you had to kind of go through when you started your business, and how were you able to resolve that?
The obstacles that I had to go through were, I mean, they're for me, it really wasn't any obstacles. The fact that, I mean,
Mhm.
we had to, of course, apply for our IEN numbers and all that stuff, just like any
Yeah.
other business.
Yeah.
All right. That's the normal stuff. So that in itself is always an obstacle for any business owner.
Right.
And then I guess the most difficult part, and it really wasn't that difficult, was putting my name out there.
Mhm.
Okay. And the reason I say that's the most difficult, but really wasn't, was because throughout the years, I have built up my clientele. People from years back that I have
Right.
been doing work for and everything, they held on to my number. They followed me. They, always kept in contact and everything. And I had relationships with these people.
Mm.
And the moment that I opened up the doors for Silverback Plumbing and Drain, I started calling them.
Wow. Okay.
I started calling them and telling them, hey, I'm in business. And the amount of times that I got, it's about damn time.
It's about damn time in a minute.
Yeah, the number of times I got that from my clients was phenomenal. I mean, if I had a nickel, I would have been like,
So
"Hey, you
fun.
know what? I'm done. I can retire now." But no, it was fabulous. The amount of times I heard my clients tell me, "It's about damn time you did it. Congratulations. All right, what do we got to do?" And
Love
I
that.
like said was spread the word. Spread the word. Anybody that needs plumbing help, please send them my way, and they say, "You got it, Mark, no problem."
Wow.
And I have well over 100 people. I mean, clientels, and they were telling their friends, they were telling their families, and everything. And I basically hit the road running. I
Wow.
mean, there was no waiting and twiddling my thumbs for the phone to ring. My phone almost overnight started ringing instantly
Wow.
overnight.
That's
So
crazy. Yeah.
so
Love that.
see, this is this, and this all goes back to what I've been telling people is like, put the service back in the industry and look what's going to happen. It's simple. As of today, still right now, I still don't even spend any money on marketing. Yet, for some reason, we're over here, we're standing next to these big corporate companies that spend every bit of 75,000 to 150,000 a month just to market.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Here I am, just a five-man show. Hope to be six soon, but here I am, a five-man team,
Yeah.
and we're
Yeah.
standing next to these big boys and getting recognized.
Love that. Yep. Super different. So you said that your values are education, information, like of course, like a homeowner like me, I wouldn't know the telltale signs of my plumbing breaking. As you said, it's behind walls. So are there signs that we have to look out for, just to make sure we don't cover like really expensive repairs because we just neglected a certain part of our house?
Yes, there's always signs that you're going to get. Let's start with the water portion of it, your potable
Mhm.
water system. So, um, one of the key factors in a house that you need to look for is your pressure. Okay. So, water pressure is like having high blood pressure.
Oh,
Yeah, think
it's a
about
good
it
one.
that
It's a
way.
good one. Yeah.
So, when you have high water pressure or you have high blood pressure, what happens to the human body? We start having,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
the blood vessels,
hypertension. Yeah.
hypertension, the blood vessels start to expand, and then
Yeah.
eventually it's going to get to what point?
Yep. It
it, it,
pops.
it pops, aneurysms, all that stuff start
Yeah.
occurring, right? So
Stroke. Mhm.
same exact thing in your potable water system. You have high blood pressure, your pipes can only take so much stress before they pop.
Mm.
Okay, so an annual inspection of your home is something that you should do to just maintain that. Okay, um signs that you have high water pressure are going to be some knocking of the pipes. You know, when you turn on a faucet, it's either going to whistle at you, it's going to be a high pitched whistle, or it's
Okay.
going to be a knocking. Okay, kind of like that. So at that point you need to, yeah, let's get a licensed professional over here to check this out. And that, those signs right there can simply mean, if you have one, that your pressure reducing valve is going bad.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay,
Okay.
so pressure reducing valves are the sacrificial lambs to your potable water system. They get beat day in, day out. There's a valve that controls the pressure going into your house, and that thing just takes the beating nonstop 24/7. Okay. So it's the sacrificial lamb. Those things are not meant to last long. The most that you can probably get out of one is probably 4 years, and that's on a high capacity
Mhm,
pressure
mhm.
reducing valve. Um, and then there's things that you can add inside the house to your water heater that will help that pressure reducing valve work out and, you know, make it last probably a little bit longer. Um, Drippy faucets, that's always the tall tale sign. You know, if you see the little drip coming out every so often, um, that's probably another sign of high pressure. High
Right.
pressure will start to blow out the seals inside the shanks of the kitchen sink faucets or bathroom faucets or anything like that. Um, as far as that's a little bit on the water side of it. On the drain side of it, what you want to look for is just something slow. If it's not going down and actually creating a suction noise when you release the stopper or something like that, your drains are not flowing the way they should.
Mm, yeah.
Okay, there's some
Understood.
buildup or something like that, If you're having to flush your toilet twice because it's not all going away, then
Mm,
there's something causing that, to not go down, and
right.
it's probably buildup. The two main drain lines in any structure that are going to be affected the most by soap curd or buildup in general is going to be your kitchen line and your laundry line. Those are the two lines that are where actually soap is used the most. You got
Yes.
laundry detergent and then your kitchen detergent and stuff from the dishwasher and all that. So
Mm,
all that soap curd, talking since we were talking about it before, will
yes.
build up heavily in that line, and that's where a lot of the clogs tend to begin. So it'll always be your laundry line or your kitchen sink line that
Wow.
clog up first in any home.
And showers, you would say, like second.
Showers are the third one on the list, only because it it's ladies that cause the showers to to clog.
Don't call me out. Don't call me out. Glad my husband isn't here. He would be like, "Yeah."
Guys don't tend to have long hair. First off, okay, but guys, a lot of males also don't tend to wear makeup. Okay, or a lot of lotions and stuff like that. So those lotions and stuff, again, it's a product that was invented to combat the effects of hard water. We don't
Right.
want our skin to look ashy and stuff, or dry. So it's always the female counterpart that puts the lotions on, and they want to look pretty and feel pretty and smell pretty. Great, we love it. Don't get us wrong, okay. And then of course the makeup and everything that they put on. Well, when they shower, that's all stuff that comes off, and it's washed down. So that tends to start building up within the P trap of the tub and down the tub line. So it does. That's the third line. But however, for some reason, the shower drain is is number three, and it's not number two. It tends to be different. But yeah, like I said, the kitchen laundry line, those are the first two.
Yep.
Your shower will be number three, and then of course the lavatories. Those start to be at the end of the clogged
Right.
list.
Okay.
Again, because what do we do in the lavatories? Brush our teeth, wash our face, and all that stuff. And from what I understand, some women even wash their hair in the sink. So which is fine, but the lines there are much smaller, and they can only take so much. And with all the chemicals that we use for hygiene purposes, that stuff does get clogged up in there, especially if you don't have soft water.
Gotcha. So I'm super curious. You said washers are usually the ones that first breaks. Is there, with your experience, is there like a soap that causes this, or a certain brand that we should stay avoid when we're using detergent? Or
No, there isn't a certain soap. It's not a certain soap, or it's not anything like that. Any product that we can buy at HEB or Home Depot or anything like that. It's not.
Mhm.
That's not what it is. It's just the quality of our water. The
Yeah.
quality of our water is
Okay.
just so poor. So it's very corrosive. Um,
Mm,
it'll start to just ruin the seals and everything in your washer machine and all that. And then because of the fact that it doesn't dissolve the soaps properly,
yeah. Yeah.
that just allows it to build up into the drain. So there isn't soaps that can ruin your appliances. It's just water.
Yep.
All it
Yep.
is. So by simply correcting the quality of your water in your home, you'll be able to fix so many other things, to include finances. You will
Yep.
be saving so much money once you go over to a soft water system. The
Okay.
unit almost starts paying for itself. So
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm curious, you said you're running a five-man team, right? In terms of hiring for people who own a home service business, what are some qualities you look for to hire someone, to actually just hire the best talent that actually practices the values that you practice?
for me, I don't look for qualities.
Okay.
I don't, as a matter of fact, I don't look for anything. The only thing I look for is that you don't know anything.
Oh, you'd rather go for blank slate and
Yeah.
train someone?
I
Oh.
I I trained I got one of my guys right now. As a matter of fact, he was an apprentice of mine years ago at another company, and he's now working for me again. And
Mhm.
when he came to me and he was like, "Hey, Mark, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that." And I said, "Buckle up, buddy." I said, "You're gonna learn." I said, and one of them was sales, and I taught him. I said, "It's nothing hard about this. It's super easy." And he gave himself to me. Said, "All right, fine. I'm your piece of clay. Mold me."
Love
And
that.
I took him, and yeah, I did exactly what I would do with any technician, but uh he learned, he retained the information, he understood why it works, uh and why I use it. And now, you know, he took off like a rocket. So
Wow. I love that.
he took off like a rocket. And then I have an apprentice here, same thing. He worked for other companies and stuff, but when he came to me, just being 2 years into the trade and still not knowing anything is tells me what the other plumbers were doing with him. They were just using him as a workhorse. That was it.
Yeah,
They
that's right.
weren't teaching him anything. They had no plans to educate him on the trade. They were just going to use him as a workhorse. You're going to drag this over there. You're going to dig that, right? And
Oh,
that was
man.
it. And that is not what I want here. You're going to learn. My
Much more.
technicians are going to learn. They're not going to stay stagnant. They're not going to stay at one license and be there forever. No, you're going to move up, you're going to advance, and you're going to make yourself better. These are the goals that I had as a technician
Mm.
myself. This was the type of ambition that I had as a technician myself. And I will make whoever works for me have that same type of ambition, or you can go and work somebody else. If you don't have that work ethic, that tells me a lot.
Yes.
Tells me a lot. If you don't
Everything.
have ambition to make yourself better, it's not going to work for you here. You will not be allowed to stay stagnant. So when it comes to hiring people, I want the people, and if I can get them, the younger the better, because I know that I will teach them everything that I know in 2 years' time. And in 2 years' time, they will be in a position where they can possibly be making a six-figure salary
Yeah.
without any kind of student loans, debt, or anything. Straight out of high school into a
Love that.
trade, 2 years later, making six figures. Bam. I can't. And I try to talk to kids as much, young men and women as much as possible, and educate them on how all this works. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. I love school. If you want to go to school, by all means. Soraya, you and I, she's headed out to Texas A&M
Yep.
here
Yep.
soon. As a matter of fact, Friday. See, so
Wonderful.
I'm all for school. It's get your education, fine, if that's the route you want to go. Me personally, I believe that trades is the way to go right now. For the longest time, we were told, when I was a kid, we were always told that stay in school, stay in school, stay in school. Education is the key to success. I don't believe that.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
don't. There's several keys to success, and one of them is just working with your hands.
Yep.
You
Yep.
don't even have to break your back. It's just simply working with your hands, having a trade, getting them dirty a little bit for just a couple years, and then you're successful.
I love that. I think I'm starting to see a pattern here with how you work and why you're so successful. I think a couple of things that you brought up was education. Not only do you practice that with the clients or people that you try to, yeah, give your services to, but also how you train. I think the pattern I saw is not putting a band-aid, but teaching them the why, like why you need to use this technique or like how plumbing works. It's not just do this, do that. So you're pretty much teaching them how to fish and not just handing them the fish. And I think that's so powerful. And a lot of people could actually take that into their business and really learn that. Because one thing that I've seen, like talking to people, talking to home service owners like yourself, is that they don't know how to train people to do what they do. They might be the best at what they're doing, but they don't want to keep working in their business. That's always a disconnect. It's like, how do you actually train people to be passionate about this the same way that you are? And so that really is such a big, light bulb moment, I would say, that you've shared. 100%.
And the majority here's a fun fact, right? I don't know the percentage exactly, but I know I can tell you this: the majority of business owners
Hmm.
hate their job.
Honestly, yeah.
Especially in trades.
Mm,
They never liked it, but that's all they knew.
yeah.
And they thought that their way out was by becoming a business owner. And that goes back to what you were just saying. They don't know how to train these guys because they don't like their job. I am one of very few in any occupation that truly loves their job.
Oh, I love that.
I truly love my job. There isn't a day that I wake up and I just dread going to work.
Love that. Love that
I've taught
mentality.
I have taught Soraya that. I've taught all my kids that once they got into the workforce, I've always told them the moment that you start dreading going into work and the moment that you catch yourself making up lies so that you don't have to go in is the day that you better quit. The
Hmm.
job is not for you. It's toxic. It's not healthy. Okay. Especially mentally, it's not healthy because once the mind goes, the body goes.
Yep.
Physically,
Yep.
it will start to tear you down. Okay, so it's I've taught her that. I've taught Soraya that. I've taught my son that, and it's just that's the way I work. I sit here before you, and I can tell you, I love my job. I truly do, and and yes, there's some guys that is like, it's like, man, again, whatever. It's like, no, no, no. I have to show guys why I love my job. I show them all the silver lining. It's like, and then before they know it, is like, holy crap, I got a completely new outtake on this. It starts with the mind. We
Yes.
just had a meeting about it, a couple weeks ago. The mental status of us determines what our day's going to be like, what it's going to be like a month from now, and what it's going to be like 5 years from now.
Yep.
It's all about mental status, making sure you're waking up. And I tell my guys, I tell Soraya, I tell my wife, you better look at yourself in the mirror every morning. And the one thing I want you to tell yourself 3 times, you have to say it 3 times. I'm gonna make today my bitch.
Uh, I need that on a shirt.
See, so it having that type of mentality does so much. I'm teaching my guys that there's a lot to teach on that. Uh, but yes, most business owners in trades hate their jobs, and that is the reason why they cannot teach
Yeah.
the younger crowd.
It's no.
And if they do teach them, that younger crowd has such a sour taste in their mouth that they want to go somewhere else.
100%. Yeah, there's this thing in psychology called the self-fulfilling prophecy, and they said everything starts with a thought, which becomes a belief, which then becomes an action. So if you constantly repeat the narrative in your head that I'm not good enough, then you start believing that and you start acting like that. And so I think it's so powerful. That's to start your morning with a strong affirmation, because then your body will always align to what you think. That's just how we are and how we want to function. Like that's human nature. So I think that's so powerful. You seem very, very ambitious and I freaking love it. So what are your goals in the next 6 to 12 months? Kind of
6 to 12 months. I'm hoping to have another technician
okay.
another technician and another apprentice on the team.
Okay.
That's what I would like. But ultimately, in the next 6 to 12 months, what I foresee is us just being in more homes and introducing people to us. I
Mhm.
am actively networking
Yeah.
uh, on a weekly basis. Here I am talking to you, right? Appreciate this.
Perfect.
So, but I'm actively networking. I'm meeting new people on a daily basis, and I want them to hear me, hear about me,
Mhm.
and it's getting to the point to where now I can go to a Bill Miller's or something, and somebody recognizes me and says, "Hey, Mark, what's going on, bud?" It was like, "Oh man, it's a client of mine that I did work for, 3 weeks or maybe a couple months ago, and but yeah, 6 to 12 months. I'm gonna be more well known, uh, because ultimately, what I need Silverback Plumbing the Drain to be is a household name
Yeah. People know about you. People pass it
that
on.
I want Silverback Plumbing and Drain to be without a doubt the name that comes into people's heads automatically when they have plumbing issues.
Okay.
There's
Love
no
that.
ifs, ands, or buts. There's no, oh, let's get a plumber. It's let's get Silverback.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um,
Okay.
and I want to take San Antonio by storm. I mean, I need to show people that, hey, a small company can run around and people will think that, like the post that was on Facebook, the guy thought that we
Yes.
were a 12 truck crew.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. A
He
lot of
said
misinformed.
he said he had no idea that it was just me and another a technician and I and an apprentice. He had no idea. He
Yeah.
thought we had 12 trucks and here we are. We're running all over town, back and forth, taking care of people left and right. And he had absolutely no idea. That's what I want.
Freaking love that. It's the passion. Like you said, you already stand out from most of the trades guys because you love your job
Yes.
and you make today your bitch. Okay. So there was one thing that you mentioned that got me really, really curious. You said you've built a very successful business without even spending anything on marketing. Is there a reason why you didn't spend on marketing? Is it because you guys are full on your calendar or
No. The reason was because, again, if I am going to restore the trade,
yeah.
I needed to make sure that I can be done without the assistance of any kind of SEO or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I wanted to show people how powerful the word of the mouth is.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
There isn't anything on Google. There isn't anything, any kind of SEO platform that can do for me that is better than word of mouth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's why we don't spend anything. 87% of our call volume is word of mouth.
Yep. Yep.
87%. There isn't another company in San Antonio that can say that. I can almost guarantee that 100%.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're doing it. And well, I can't complain about it. Why? Because it's saving me a bunch of money, but so if I can do it, anybody can do it. Um, I'm not going to get into the political part of it, but it's just that simple.
Yep.
It can be done, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just
Mm-hmm.
simply by going out there and creating a relationship with your clients and making sure that they understand everything.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, my dad's actually in the trades business. He owns a construction business, but he lives currently in the Philippines and he's making quite a ridiculous amount of money, but all of it is through referrals because that
Yeah,
has been the main thing that has built his business is people trust him, especially with bigger projects now. And he says that I'm 60, but it's the peak of my business. So he continues to work because he loves his job the same
yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think we're blessed to be born in a time where we can actually utilize online means to actually get that connection. So totally see your point as well. I just think it's great to be able to connect with Facebook friends and see what you're doing with your business online. As much as I want it, I won't be able to talk to all of my connections in one day. So just having that type of online means to learn about people's business is really, really powerful. So yeah, I just think there's a lot of potential there as well, for sure. Yeah,
Thanks.
especially since you guys are like, yeah, you're hitting it. You're like going through the root of the problem before having to add things to your business, which a lot of businesses actually miss. They put so much money into like several different things without actually knowing what works, and that's the reason why they fail. Like 100%. It's like it's actually crazy. Yeah, they think that paying for someone will solve all their problems when in fact it's actually them that needs to solve that problem
Yeah.
in their business first. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So I mean, and you know what? I'll be honest with you. When I started the company, I knew that's what I had to do, but I didn't know. I didn't know how to do it. I am. I don't know if you want to call me an adrenaline junkie or what, but I'm just one of those guys that just says, "Hey, to hell with it, let it fly." You know, I got an idea, shoot it out there. And that's the kind of guy that I am. So I don't hesitate. And I just say, let's go. I just grab the bull by the horns and go for the ride. I'm either going to get knocked off or I'm going to stay on and win that trophy. So I thank God as of right now, I've been winning trophies. And it's great. I mean, literally, I've been winning trophies. Here we are. I stand before you as one of San Antonio's top 3 best plumbers, back to back. We've gotten that award for the past 2 years. See, so it's scary sometimes,
Mm,
and
mhm.
but when I see where we came from, and I see that all that I've endured, throughout my 18-year career, um, it's humbling to me because I'm not as lucky. I there's some people that aren't as lucky as me or as blessed. Um, we've been truly blessed. There's no doubt about that.
Mhm.
I been truly blessed, and I can't thank the good Lord above enough for the position that I'm in right now. Um, it is Him that has truly guided me and helped me.
Yeah.
So that without that, I don't think I'd be in this position.
Wow. So powerful. Yeah, I love that. I mean, you have created your own luck with the passion that you show to your job. It's nonverbal cues. People actually see it if you hate your job, and it's so true. If you're passionate, you're always learning. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, I'm wishing you all the best to reach that top 1. I mean, top
Yeah.
1, that's where you need to go. Yeah, so I really appreciate it. Is there lasting words or any advice that you wanna give to someone who's starting their business?
Uh, any advice to somebody that's looking to start their own business is, hey, bud, do it. Don't stop. Don't let anything stop you. Um, it's going to be a bumpy ride, okay? But as of right now, your plan has started with the best move ever, and that is you having the idea to start a business. That is the best move that anybody could ever have. And once you do that, you're off to a great start already.
Wow,
So,
powerful. Wow. Well, I'll end that interview here with a recording. Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Mark. Like this has been enlightening. Honestly, I'm so inspired. I already today, I will make today my bitch.
that's
I'm
right.
gonna put
That's
that
right,
in my
baby. Make
affirmation
today
right
your
now.
bitch. Yes.
I freaking love it. Yeah. So I'm actually just like so inspired by you with like how much passion you've given to like your business. It's so infectious. Like I can see why like a lot of people have talked about Silverback plumbing and drain. I haven't really talked to you, but like I've heard you around already. So yeah, I appreciate it. So not sure if I can help you, but like I want to see if there's actually possible opportunities to be that top one spot. Who's your main competitor? I'm so curious.
Oh,
Who are like those top ones that you were talking about?
that's part of my mental state is
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
or I don't let the negativity of other competitors
Okay.
penetrate. So to say who's my competitor, I don't know. I'll sit in front of you and tell you I have no competition. See, so
Gotcha.
uh, but the other the other two that were part of the top three in San Antonio was
Reliant.
and Reliant. I can't remember the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember the other one.
So interesting. Okay.
So
Very
we'll go off of that. But see, again, for years and years, and it took me a long time to learn this. Um, I was, and I'm just gonna give you a really quick story.
yeah, yeah, of course.
As as a young man, I was angry. I was always angry, and my parents, my brothers, the world. I was just super angry, and I was like that for the longest time. I went to
Mhm,
college, uh, and it seems that college even made me angrier because
mhm,
I experienced racism. I went to
mm.
school up in East Texas,
Oh.
and white supremacy stuff like that was all out there, and I experienced that. And I remember the first week in college, every day of the week, my friends and I were getting into fights
Man.
because we were told that we didn't belong, and stuff like that, and us wetbacks needed to get back to where we came from.
Oh my God.
So after 2 years of that, um, I came back home and I became a law enforcement officer. And again, the attitude that I had at the time was that of a short fused firecracker. Uh,
Mhm,
I was just an angry young man, and why? Thinking back about it, I just don't know why. I was just angry. Um, and then it hit me when I got into plumbing. It was my brother-in-law that got me into plumbing.
oh.
I did law enforcement, personal protection. I was over here bodyguarding headliners at Sunset Station and stuff. And my brother-in-law is the one that got me into plumbing by coming over to my house one day and just simply asking me, "Are you ready to start making some real money?" And I was like, "Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna
Mhm,
pick you up at 6 o'clock tomorrow. I'm gonna take you over to where I work, and you're gonna apply right there, and we're gonna get you hired. You're gonna start working." Okay, whatever. No, it happened just exactly the way he said it. Got hired. He started teaching me everything he knows. Um, and then I got married and had a boy. A lot of things changed right there. It's amazing what a baby will do to a man. Um,
mhm,
and then went on my career and started advancing myself through the licenses in Texas. But it wasn't until I would say maybe 11 years ago is when I had an aha moment or a eureka, whatever you want to call it. And it was an old man by the name of Larry that so grumpy, big burly guy, he was about 6'4", had paws the size of a 12-inch saucepan or something. I mean, he was just hands, you know,
Oh, wow.
yeah, always had a grumpy face on him, big old white mustache. Larry, but we were working together and he was just like I said, real grumpy, real stern, and one of those guys that didn't like his job, but that's all he knew. So I was working with him side by side, and he thought he would talk to me the way he normally talks to his apprentices, and I snapped.
Oh man.
I didn't hit him. I didn't hit him, but I snapped and I got in his face. And I told him, Larry, don't you ever talk to me that way again. You might be older than me and you might know more, but that doesn't make you better. And
Hmm. Hmm.
the sooner you realize that, the sooner we're going to be able to work together a whole lot better. But if you want to continue this, now I'm going to ask you to step out of this hole. And now we're going to go into the street and we're going to talk there. And he just looked at me and gave me this, like, I can't believe you just told me that. You know, that kind of a look.
Wow.
And we kind of had a stare down. And I just looked him straight in the eye. And then all he said was, okay, Mark. Ever since then, Larry and I were like best of friends. And
Wow.
we started working together again. But he told me his story, and it was almost similar to mine. And the part that pulled my heartstrings was that when he told me, Mark, nobody's ever stood up to me that way. And by you doing that, you actually brought happiness back into my life. That was weird.
Oh.
And again, he pulled on my heartstrings and stuff. And I said, Larry, don't you start getting soft on me. He goes, I ain't getting soft on you, damn it. He goes, I'm just letting you know what's happening. He goes, I want to thank you. He goes, because I really do enjoy working next to you. It was at that moment that I realized my ways had to change a lot. And that's when I started focusing on mental health, not just for me, but for my family. Um, and figuring out ways, thinking outside the box to where one, I can make the same amount of money in the least amount of time. And now it was the whole concept of building relationships with my clients to help them understand and help them get what they truly need. Uh, that's where it started developing.
Wow.
That's where all of that started developing, and me understanding the client emotional state, mental state, and all that stuff. I had to understand that in order to start my process. Because if you have a big, huge flood in your house, you're in a panic and you're just, you're screaming, you're yelling, you're trying to do everything you can to make it stop. And then when I show up, you're just like, it's still going everywhere. Or you're trying to say, okay, calm down,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you're still. So at that point, I was like, okay, she's not listening. Ignore her. Put the water down. It's that simple. This and that.
Yeah.
And then once she sees the water, or once the client sees the water's turned off and it's not leaking anymore or anything like that, what did you do? I need you to sit down. Sit down, calm down a little bit. We're going to talk about this. And within a matter of seconds, I can have my client completely calm and understanding, like, oh man, what the heck? So all I had to do was that. I was like, yes, don't panic. Don't panic. Don't ever panic. That's the worst thing you can do is panic. But
Yeah, for sure.
Larry is a man that I'll never forget.
Wow.
That is a man I'll never forget. Of
Yeah.
course, I mean, I grew up with both parents, and don't get me wrong, I love my dad, and he'll always be my number one. But Larry is a man that I like to give credit for in transforming and making me realize that I needed to change something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to this day, he's got some credit in where I'm at right now. Because if it weren't for him, acting the way he did and then coming to me and telling me how he felt and how I had made him feel, I would have never started this.
Wow. No, that's you got me. You got me tearing up right here too. A little bit.
Yeah, me too.
So powerful. No, wow. Yeah, I was touched. I was touched. That was very moving. Yeah. I can relate. I feel like my dad is an angry person as well. I'm gonna, yeah, he is changing as well. I think it took a lot of like him realizing as well and his high blood pressure to kind of realize like, hey, I can't I
Yep.
can't be putting myself in a lot of stress like this anymore. So yeah, that was a very touching story for sure. Yeah. Got me a little emotional. Yeah, I
No.
appreciate it. Well, honestly, I really, really just want to be able to help you. Um, it's so rare. It's so rare to actually like connect with owners that actually care about their business. Sorry.
It's okay.
It got me emotional. That story got me emotional. Yeah, for sure.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, no, you're good. You're good. You're good. I can just cut out this part of the. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I just want to be able to really, really help. Hearing your story, I think a lot more people need to hear this type of story and just have this type of example for what a trades business should be. I actually want to see if there's like other opportunities that you can actually get into. What if I kind of look into your competitors, see what they're doing online, and then come back to you? Would that be helpful for you?
Any information is helpful.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
any information is helpful. I'll always appreciate anyone who's helping me.
Yeah. Of
Um,
course.
it'll never be forgotten. I can tell you that. So, but yeah, any information that you can, you know, fill us in with, and great, beautiful. I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to do that. I've done that for my dad as well. I think it's just something that I can keep serving the community as well, give them value. And that's how I want to run my business as well. So you reminded me a lot of the inspiration I've gotten and what I really committed myself to the business. So I really, really appreciate it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I will get to work with this interview. It was jam-packed. I am actually considering posting this on socials as well, if you're okay with that. Yeah, I
That's
think a
fine.
lot of people will really be inspired with your story. So really appreciate it, Mark.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you giving me the time.
Yeah, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Oh, I certainly will. And remember, make today your bitch.
Yes, and happy birthday to the next person.
All righty, cool.
Have a good one.
You too,
Bye-bye.
ma'am. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.